Hi guys, I'm Saumya and I'm back again with another video. I hope you're all well and safe. So I make a lot of bookish content on this channel. So if you are a book lover and a reader, then do hit that subscribe button and don't forget to click on the bell icon. So in today's video, I want to talk about a book which was sent to me by the author, and that book is Skia An Indestructible Lie by Arindam Bandyopadhyay. So let's get into the video. So this is a story about two people, Avinash and Alik. So both these guys are not connected to each other in any way except for the fact that they both live in Mumbai and they are both struggling in their respective lives. Both of their love lives are not going good and both of their careers are not really taking off properly. So Alik wanted to go into movies, he wanted to become a director, and Avinash wanted to become an author. However, both these people are not able to live their dreams. They have to make do with what they are able to get. So Alik is a journalist and Avinash has got a job as an editor in a startup in a new company. On the face of it, this story seems simple enough, but it is actually quite a complex story. It's a story about Avinash discovering the power of his mind, what one's mind can achieve, and what catastrophes and what phenomenal things can be made possible if one knows how to harness the power of one's mind. Now, this particular theme has been explored through Avinash's character, and this is the reason why this story is not very simple to understand. You have to really read it with a lot of concentration, and when I was reading this book, it took me quite a lot of time to finish it. It took me around 25 days to finish this book, even though it's not a super lengthy book. It's around 439 pages. You cannot understand this book by skimming through the pages. I never recommend skimming through books anyway, but in case of this book in particular, you really have to leave everything aside and get into it to understand what this book is trying to convey. And majorly what this book is trying to convey is the struggle that Avinash has to face to find out the purpose of life, the meaning of life. In fact, this imagery on the cover of this book is quite apt to describe the subject of this book, because it's literally the mind and the hands reaching out of it. Like literally your mind can control the external events around you. That's the subject of this book. So all together this becomes a pot and a mix of things that are both easy to understand but at the same time can be mind-boggling. This book has a lot of characters actually. We get to read about Avinash's aloof neighbors, we get to read about Avinash's boss Guru, and then there is this mysterious lady who shows up at his workplace. And in short, a lot is going on in this book. In fact, it starts with Alik finding out about some bomb blasts and him getting calls from people who suffered because of these bomb blasts, and there are a lot of things happening in this story, so you really have to keep up with what all is happening. So there were certain portions and parts in the book that were very interesting and fascinating. There were certain internal monologues, certain arguments presented by the characters that made the book unputdownable in those portions, but this was not uniform through the book. In fact, for the most part, this book was a slow read, and that too a deliberately slow one, because there were certain very heavy topics that were being dealt with in this book through Avinash's character. It's like whatever doubts and whatever questions you've had about the power of your mind, if you feel that you cannot spare the time to delve into those thoughts because it's a very complex process, you can literally go for this book to live that process through Avinash's journey. One thing that this book does very well is how it touches upon the topic of feeling lonely and being left out in the cold, because both the characters, Avinash as well as Alik, are two people who have been rejected by the world, or so it seems like when you read their stories. So if you feel totally lonely and if you resonate with that kind of feeling, then if you read this book, you will be able to appreciate how well that has been talked about in this book. So I did not end up having a favorite character in this book, but what I can say is that I did feel for the characters in this book. So in that manner, the characters were fleshed out well. As for Avinash's character, he infuriated me a lot. I did not like his character. I can't say that I hated him, but I definitely found him annoying from time to time. And then there was Alik. I don't know what I feel about Alik, to be honest. It's a little bit difficult to say. Again, I am not exactly fond of his character, but I did sympathize with him. This is a very well written book. I mean, that has to be mentioned. Very, very gripping and very beautifully written, and even though the subject of the book is complex, it has been presented in a language that is very impressive, and you can't help but take note of that. To sum it up, this book deals with a very different topic in a manner that is beautifully gripping, but at the same time, this book drags. If you are looking to read about the power of one's mind, about how a man can get confused by his own mind through his own powers, and how he struggles to find the meaning of life amidst all this, then definitely you can go for this book. That was my review of Skia An Indestructible Lie by Arindam Bandyopadhyay. If you want to check this book out, then I'll leave the link for that in the description box. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to connect with me on my social media, the links are in the description. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, bye bye, take care and stay safe.